Were Jesus and Santa white? Well, Fox News anchor Megyn Kelly stepped into something of a holiday hornet's nest after insisting the two were just that, white men. Kelly was reacting to a piece in Slate.com by Aisha Harris, who made the case that Santa should not be a white man anymore, writing, "From here on out, Santa Claus should be a penguin." That's right, a penguin. Why, you ask? For one thing, making Santa Claus an animal rather than an old white male could spare millions of non-white kids the insecurity and shame that I remember from childhood, unquote. Here's Kelly's response.
When I saw this headline, I kind of laughed and I said, oh, this is so ridiculous. Yet another person claiming it's racist to have a white Santa, you know? And by the way, for all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white, but this person is just arguing that maybe we should also have a black Santa. Just because it makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean it has to change. You know, I mean, Jesus was a white man too, but you know, it's like he was a historical figure. I mean, that's a verifiable fact, as is Santa. I just want the kids watching to know that.
So Jesus from Galilee was a white man. Let's get to CNN legal analyst Mark Argos and Sunny Hostin. Sunny, your reaction to what Megyn said.
Well, I was really shocked because I've worked with Megyn, and Megyn and I used to do this weekly segment on the O'Reilly Factor called Is It Legal? And she's a lawyer, and we used to debate all the time, and I always found her very prepared and very well researched, and I was surprised at her ignorance because my mother is an educator, and when I grew up, we knew that the history of Santa Claus was that he was from modern-day Turkey, and so, in fact, he was a brown man, and I've always had brown Santas in my home, and anyone that knows anything about the history of Jesus Christ also knows that he was also a brown man. That's a picture of my Santa that is in my kitchen. In fact, when my children see white Santa Clauses at department stores, they call him the fake Santa. And so I'm surprised at Megyn's ignorance on this subject, especially given the platform that she has. I think she should be ashamed of herself.
Well, okay, so that's your take. I read, Mark, an interesting interview with a scholar tonight who said, look, Jesus was from Galilee, so it's basically he would probably look like a Jewish Palestinian. But what Christ is all about is that he is every man. So in China, you'll find, if there are Christians who are allowed to practice Christianity there, that Jesus would be Chinese. And in South America, that Jesus would be South American. And that Megyn Kelly's Jesus is white because that's how every single person sees Christ. Do you think that scholar has any sort of point, or do you think Megyn Kelly needs to apologize?
No, I think, look, the scholar clearly has a point. There is the whole idea of Jesus and accepting Jesus and getting into this kind of a debate is that you're proselytizing people wherever they may be in the world. She's got the right, obviously, Megyn does, the First Amendment right to express her views politically. Sunny can make any kind of philosophical argument
she's being historically inaccurate.
But well, you're talking a couple of different arguments here, Sunny. You can talk about the historical inaccuracy. You can also talk about the fact that she's got a First Amendment right to express her views, which I think she was doing.
There's a difference between a view and saying something is a fact.
Well, philosophically, she can adopt the scholar's view that wherever you are, it's a symbol, and you're imbuing the symbol with whatever symbolism you want. So what's the matter with that? And I don't understand why we're denigrating her or calling her ignorant or anything else. There's a lot of people who would say the whole argument is nonsensical to begin with.
Because it is ignorant to be historically inaccurate when you have that kind of platform. And I think it's a shame when race is such an important topic in our culture, in our world, in our cities, when someone is sort of whitewashing history, and it's something that's happened for so very long in our society. And why can't someone like Megyn Kelly be accurate, be well informed, and give factually and historically accurate information, which is that the history of Jesus is that he was a brown man, and Saint Nick, same thing, a 4th century bishop.
Well, no, you're saying, I think what you're saying is that Santa is a Turk. If Santa's a Turk as an Armenian, I take great offense to that, and I'm not going to let my kids talk about Santa anymore because the Turks need to admit a whole lot of things. So I don't know that calling the Turks blacks or that they're black Santa, you're going to get a whole lot of Turks who are going to embrace that, Sunny.
Listen, the bottom line is that's the historical perspective. Now, of course, Santa Claus now has become sort of this magical faith-based, symbol, and I think that's wonderful.